Hi everybody and welcome. My name's Craig, I'm 38 and today we're going to be talking about telescopes. So the reason I wanted to make this video is because I recently had the pleasure of buying my first decent telescope, and it was this one, a little 5-inch Schmidt Cassegrain go-to alt-as. So the first thing you'll probably notice, if you haven't noticed already, there are 3 different types of telescope. So we have a refractor telescope over here, we have a reflector telescope here, and as mentioned we have a Schmidt Cassegrain telescope here. Now, I'm going to start with the refractor, because I think they were the first telescopes ever made, to be honest, by Galileo. It has a main primary lens at the front, obviously made of glass. It contracts the light all the way down to the eyepiece at the bottom. Now, these telescopes are fantastic if you've got money to throw at them. The reason being is because glass is expensive to kind of mould to the right shape. Now, if you're wanting to get any decent results with one of these, you need one with either 2 or 3 pieces of glass at the front. The reason is chromatic aberration. Blue and red light splits at different angles and you get like a purple fuzz around things. In order to avoid that, because there's no way to get rid of it once it's there, the only way to avoid it is to spend about 700-800 quid on one of them scopes. Refractor telescopes can be extremely good. If you want to see what they're capable of, just drop over onto a guy called Backyard's channel. Once you've been over there, you probably won't come back here because the guy is amazing. However, he does show you what is possible with these telescopes. I can't because mine was like 50p, his was probably about 15 grand, so yeah, unfortunately I'm just not going to be able to show you the results that I'd like to with one of those at the moment. Now, you guys are here as beginners, not really knowing what's going on, so I'm assuming you don't have 700-800 quid to throw at the scope alone, therefore we're probably not going to talk about the refractor again, which narrows us down to these two. Now, when you're buying one of these scopes, I would recommend that obviously you're going to have a budget in mind. Take that figure and knock £150 off, because you're going to need to buy additional things. I've probably spent about 70-80 quid, and I've got a Celestron power tank on the way as well, which is 50-60 quid. So I'm probably getting up to about £150 as well, of costs that I didn't expect. And I just wanted to let you know that there will be things that you'll want to buy just to kind of finish off your scope. So next I'm going to move on to a reflector telescope. Now these are also called Dobsonians and they're regarded as probably the best beginner telescope there is, and I'll explain why. First things first, they're actually cheaper to make than both of the other telescopes because they don't have an expensive lens at the front. All it is a huge parabolic mirror at the bottom, which light comes in, bounces off this mirror, comes back up to a secondary mirror that's just on the other side of here, and then the light comes straight out of the eyepiece. So when you're buying one of these, you do tend to get more for your money, you get more aperture, you get more bang for your buck. Now, another fantastic thing about Dobsonian telescopes is because they have no lens at the front, it also means that they are a very fast scope, that the light isn't being slowed down. So this is an f3.4, I believe. Just for comparison, this is an f10. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to be talking about this, and you're going to be sat there thinking, Craig, you really like that scope. Why the hell didn't you buy one of those? Again, all will be revealed at the end. So when you're looking at really faint objects, deep sky objects, your nebulas, your galaxies, they are much better with these because they pick up much more of the fine detail that is given off by that so distant light. So if you wanted to be looking at deep sky objects or anything like that, I would definitely go for a Dobsonian. Now, another thing you're going to notice is these two are on completely different mounts. This is an EQ mount, this is an alt-as mount. I do have videos on both of these mounts showing you how to set them up and the benefits or cons of each. So far we've said that not only are these cheap, you get quite a lot for your money, they're really fast, so you can see really dark, deep sky objects. These are absolutely unparalleled. So again, you're thinking, Craig, what the hell, why didn't you buy one of those? It sounds amazing. Well, they are amazing, but the best scope you can get is the one that you're going to use the most often. Now, this brings me nicely onto the Schmidt Cassegrain. Now, I've already told you a little bit about this. I've told you it's an f10 scope, so you're probably thinking, well, that means that you're just going to see less than you would with that. And that is correct, unfortunately. However, I had to get around 3 problems. One was light pollution. Now, from this balcony, looking west, I get a lot of light pollution because there's quite a few towns and villages down that valley. So if you want to check what the light pollution is like in your area, just go to light pollution map or lightpollution.com. When it opens up, make sure you're on the latest version up in the top right hand corner, and then you'll realise when you zoom in, you'll be able to click it. London is about 100, near where I live is about 30, and then if I go up on top of the hill near me, it's about 3. So the problem there being is I couldn't see dark, distant objects anyway, so it was pointless getting one of them because I wouldn't have been able to get the most out of it from this balcony. What I had to look for from this balcony is bright objects such as the moon, which I've been getting some really good close-ups of, and also planets as well. Now, these are very, very bright objects, so I didn't need something that would pick up loads of light, something like this that would actually take a little bit of the glare from these very bright objects away. This is absolutely perfect. Now, another good thing about this scope is the zoom. Now, I say that with an air of caution. With any telescope, you can, within reason, improve the zoom, or you can get focal reducers so that you zoom out a little bit and things like that. Now, with this telescope, I wouldn't be able to see the Andromeda galaxy because it's about twice the width of the moon. I purposely bought this so that the field of view was about the same as the moon. The moon would be quite small. So again, it wouldn't really suit my needs because it's got a wide field of view. Again, if you're shooting galaxies and nebulas, that is a plus point, but I'm not going to be doing that. So for me, the zoom was quite important to get those fine details out of the smaller planets and the moon as well. So with this, yes, the zoom was important to me, but it depends what you're shooting to whether or not you want a large focal range or a smaller focal range. Now, all of these things can be calculated anyway. Think about it. The focal range is from where the light first gets displaced to where it hits your eye. So with this, the focal range is basically from where the light first bounces off the bottom mirror to your eye. So your focal length is roughly the length of the scope. The same with the refractor. The light comes through, it gets displaced at the initial lens, and then it hits your eye. So the focal length is roughly the same as the scope. These are very different. They've got a lens at the front, like the refractor. They've got a mirror at the back, like the reflector. It comes back up, they've got a secondary mirror here, same as the reflector, but instead of the light coming out of the side of an eyepiece, it goes straight back down to where I currently have my DSLR at the bottom. So the focal range of these is actually 3 times its length, which means it's got a 3 times better zoom relay than a respective scope of a different make of the same aperture size. Now, another reason I bought one of these is its portability. I mean, literally look at it. So I needed a scope that was going to be portable, that if I did want to go and look at some dark sky objects and need to get to a bit of a darker sky, I can literally just pick this up and just walk down the stairs with it and put it in the car. That's not a problem whatsoever. Whereas, like I said, with this one, I'd have to dismantle it, take it in 3 separate trips, and then when I get there, you've got to set it all up. This I literally just throw. Doesn't even have to be that level, to be completely honest. Line it up using 3 stars on my smartphone, and then it will track, it will do exactly what I want it to do. If I want to look at Mars, I just find Mars on my smartphone, click on it, and then the scope will move to Mars. It is so much easier than using one of these. But like I said, mounts, they're a completely different ball game. There are other videos on mounts. I'm not going to go into it now, otherwise we'll be here for the rest of the afternoon. So, just to summarise, if I was wanting to get into some serious deep sky astrophotography and came into a little bit of money, I would definitely buy a refractor telescope. With these two, it does come down to kind of what you'll be shooting. If you're going to be looking at any deep sky objects, any of your fainter objects, definitely get one of these. If you're going to be wanting to do more planetary and lunar observation, get one of these. If you're going to be using it from the comfort of your own home, get one of these. If you're going to be commuting with it, you can see where this is going, get one of these. So just have a think about what it is that you want to start off seeing. And I say start off because I got that, but I will definitely be getting one of these. When I move house, I've got a bigger garden, I can see the North Star, and I can actually get away from this light pollution that I keep banging on about. So thank you ever so much for joining me. I really hope this video has helped you make up your mind about which telescope is right for you. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments below. If I can't answer it, I've done enough research, I will be able to point you in the direction of somebody that will. Now, as a thank you for making it through to the end of my video, I do like to give a little energy efficiency tip of the day. Now, today is going to be try to use your washing machine on the lowest temperature possible. Now, the reason for this is because a 30 degree quick wash might cost you 10p, a 40 degree normal wash might cost you 40p. So if you think about it, that's a 30p difference of every wash. If you do 4 washes a week, that's £1.20. 52 weeks a year, you're probably looking at about 70, 80 quid. So to be fair, if you were to turn down your washing machine just to a 30-degree quick wash instead of a 40-degree normal one, you could potentially have enough money to buy a Celestron power tank every year. You could buy some new eyepieces every year. You know, use this advice to get more money in your pocket and buy the things that you love.